Hello and welcome everyone to the fourth and final day here at the ECS Season 7 Finals. Over the last 4 days, we've gone from 8 teams down to just 2, and at the end of the day, only one team will walk away with $225,000 as well as this trophy. Thank you so much to everyone in the audience who showed up yesterday to cheer. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Are you ready to crown a champion today? And of course, for everyone watching from home, we want to hear from you. Make sure to use hashtag ECS7 and let us know who you're cheering for, FURIA or Vitality. That grand finals will be beginning in just a little bit. But for now, Freya, over to you.
That is right, Sue. We started off with 8 teams, but now we have whittled it down to just 2, fighting for the chance to be crowned the ECS Season 7 champions. On one side, we have a former ECS champion himself joining up with a new French side in Vitality. And on the other, we have the Brazilian underdogs of FURIA fighting to lift the trophy for the first time together. And of course, I could not get through this grand final alone. I have the wonderful Sponge and Maniac joining me up here on the desk. And what a grand final this is shaping up to be. Yeah, very unexpected, right? I think all the results through this one have surprised people, but having FURIA come through, having Alex in front of the home crowd, you know, the chance is going to be there for him. There's a storyline here for everybody.
Yeah, there is, right? I mean, is it expected? No. Is it exciting? Yes. And the fact that these two teams have evolved so quickly. Obviously, FURIA, one step quicker than Vitality. A few weeks ago, we talked about them as a potential surprise. Now they've really confirmed that, you know, they can do it. They did in Dallas. They were dangerous here. Now they're in the grand final. And Vitality as well, slowly but surely on the steep, improving, and now in the grand final.
Well, yes, exactly, and we'll be getting into our grand final very shortly. But of course, after that's over, it isn't all the CS action we have left for you. We have our Caffeine After Show, hosted by Parla over on caffeines.com/FaceIt. And if you missed out on yesterday's show, it was absolutely fantastic. We had a live band there and a chance to win a PC, so make sure you head on over after our grand final. But first, let's get into our format. If you're not familiar with this, you've missed out on a lot of good Counter-Strike. We started off with Group A and Group B, and now it has been whittled down to just 2 teams, Vitality and, of course, FURIA. And looking at these groups, right, guys, they weren't the 2 teams we expected to be in this grand final.
No, not by any means. I think you can see Astralis, that was the big surprise. They got beaten by FURIA twice in this tournament alone, so that's huge right there. And obviously, MIBR, another really big name, not making it through. NIP as well, they were definitely struggling going out 0-2 to Astralis in that lower bracket. But for me, you know, having Vitality and having FURIA, who both came through the Pinnacle Cup to get to this point, right, they went through all the barriers, all the hurdles, and they've put on some very impressive CS, so hopefully we get that in the grand final as well.
I agree. I mean, I just look at this graphic and I think about NIP. We haven't paid that much attention to the Swedish squad, but yes, they were frustrated in Dallas. Obviously, Dennis was not able to make it to the tournament, and you would thought they come here, they are prepared, they're hungry, they want some revenge, and it didn't happen. They fell flat. And it is worrying because for a few months, I would say, I had a feeling they were coming back, they were finding their groove, and here just did not happen at all.
Well, exactly, and we can see Group B also up on the screen for you. And pointing out this, both of our finalist teams, they didn't take the shortest route, right? They both had to go through that lower bracket.
Yeah, I think the Vitality one here having to topple, well, look, they lost to North. They made it through. They were able to get back against Complexity here and come through. The MIBR upset against Complexity kind of made that possible, I would say. But Complexity with a fantastic showing, right? Obo on a stage at a LAN for the first time, 15-year-old kid. The same story, you know, started at 11, older brother got him into it.
Isn't it?
It's, yeah, you've heard it once or twice before. Positive signs for Complexity, but not so much for the other teams. Vitality still trying to keep that hype alive because they've been on the road now, they've been competing in back-to-back tournaments, and they're continuing to deliver. They're ranked number 4 in the world at this point. I'd be interested to see where they end up after we finish today.
Well, exactly, and I mean, we're going to be getting our 2 grand finalist teams on the stage very shortly. But let's have a look and see what exactly happened yesterday in our semi-finals. Again, 2 pretty swift 2-0s. We weren't expecting that. We were expecting a little bit more back and forth.
Well, I guess the FURIA versus North one was really, really exciting. At some point, third map was definitely on the cards, and this is when we've seen it had all the makings of a series that you remember, like insane clutches, back and forth, no one really making it, and then FURIA closing it. The emotion was insane, so that game really got me. I was stuck, I was thinking about it, I watched the VODs again. It was just a firework.
Yeah, they've made their mark, right? I think their unique take on Counter-Strike, the way that they've approached this tournament. If you look at them statistically speaking, none of their players even look like they've put any damage downrange, but they have, and they've been able to do it as a team to get to this point. So I think that the interesting conversation here is about how well Zywoo is being able to do time and time again. Highest rated player in the tournament, isn't he? Or is the device still above him? There's something along those lines.
On a list about Zywoo?
Yeah.
I have some. You sometimes do it. I have a list here.
Okay.
So you have these categories of people who are really good in one department of the game. But Zywoo is rating, kill difference, damage difference, total kills, kills per round, round with 1 kill, clutches, AVP, top 5 in all of it.
Well, and we'll be able to meet our grand finalist teams very, very shortly. But first, let's take a look at how they got to this stage.
I'm really looking forward to be playing that final. It's a rematch against FURIA, one of the most surprising and enjoyable teams to watch. So yeah, very happy with the path we made so far, but losing is not an option. We have to win that final.
I'm really proud of my team to be here and play the finals, ECS finals. It's a dream coming true, so I will be yelling a lot for sure. Here are some final words before the finals.
If you want my future, forget my past.
If you wanna get it with me, better make it fast.
Now, don't go wasting my precious time.
Get your act together. We could be just fine.
Now, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I really, really wanna zig-a-zig.
If you wanna be on my team,
You gotta get with my friends.
let's make it last forever.
Friendship never ends.
London, it is time. Only 2 teams remain today, and it all comes down to this. These players fight not just for the money, not just for that trophy, but for the prestige and honor to be crowned champion in front of all of you today. So I ask you right now, are you ready? Please welcome your grand finalists, FURIA and Vitality.
What an incredible set of teams we have here for our grand final. The underdogs of FURIA absolutely decimated the competition, taking down Australis not just once, but twice in an unbelievable performance. And of course, the side of Vitality with superstar Zywoo and crowd favorite Alex there with his England flag. Pretty proud moment there.
Yeah, I think his parents were sitting in the crowd yesterday just behind me. They sounded proud, that's for sure, as he walked out on stage. So this for him, as he gets the crowd chanting his name, must be a fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I play with him. He's so passionate about the game, so invested. Yes, we've had issues when we were in LDLC, but his commitment was always 200%. And I'm so glad that he gets that game now. He's on stage, he's at home, he has the crowd with him, and he's about to make something historic for his team.
Well, exactly. And I mean, he's definitely the crowd favorite here. We can hear them already chanting his name. But we're going to take a look at how much this means to the teams, because they have given some phenomenal reactions, really. Let's take a look at some of these replays.
Yeah, I think the Brazilians, right, it's known for flair. This is even just going back to the days when Fallen and co were coming up through, because these guys especially, they've stuck through. There was the buyout, the whole Quesarado situation, and they've stayed together as a team. They've had this goal as they've come together. And, you know, if you look at their history, they've chopped and changed, well, they chopped and changed a little bit last year, and people weren't even looking at them, right? This year coming into it, what they've already achieved is phenomenal in terms of where they were, where they weren't even known, and now they're in the grand final of an event like this. So fantastic stuff coming in from the Brazilians, but we get a rematch, right? This is already being played on now. This was a quarterfinal matchup over in Dallas. We saw these two teams go toe-to-toe, and FURIA walked all over the French, right? It wasn't even a close game.
Yeah, 16-8 in both maps, right? Like, not even close.
It was a slap, and I was talking with Vitality, and they told me we knew what they were doing. We had it ready. We had watched the demos. We knew they would be a little bit crazy, a little bit savage on the server. But knowing what they're doing is a thing. Countering it is another. So today, in the big stage, in the grand final, they get the second opportunity to show that they can stop the Fury.
It's weird when you look at this matchup, right? Because the French, they have the experience. They have players who have been here before. They have players who have won majors. And then you pair them up against FURIA, a team who's come from absolutely nowhere. They haven't really been noticed that much, and now they're playing on a stage. So if you take experience as the factor, and that's where you're going to be hedging your bets, you go towards Vitality. But if you look at the record between the two teams, you would just have to say FURIA. Because I was looking at like the opening kills or like the clutch factors. In that Inferno game, they were equal in terms of opening kills. The clutches did go in the way of FURIA, but that's not a swing of, 8 rounds in a matchup. So when I look at this, maybe the play style of FURIA is just something that teams aren't used to having to counter just yet. They're still acclimatizing to it.
Well, no, of course. I mean, I know I was speaking to you about it, Maniac. Apex is an incredibly emotional and vocal player, right? But we saw Alex coming out and doing it yesterday too. He was absolutely astounded to be making it to that grand final.
Yeah, Alex has transformed himself over the course of the past few weeks. I would say, obviously, his position in Vitality has changed. He has taken over the in-game leadership. He has taken more space. I think the positions that he plays are a little bit better. And to me, this is the difference maker. Because Zywoo has always been insane, right? But now you have Alex that is actually coming to his own, finding his form again, being impactful. We saw in the semi-final, he had a fantastic game, fantastic series, and he was very quiet at the beginning. I've played with him. I know he can be impactful, so it's great to see him do it now.
They're going to need some very big calls from him today, right? Because some of the things to note when they did play in the series last time was it felt that if their first plan didn't work, they didn't have anything to fall back on. They weren't as reactive, whereas a team like FURIA, they react so quickly, they suffocate you, right? So in that stylistic matchup right there, that's when the in-game leader has to step up and be quick on the calls, or a player has to take ownership of that. So lots of pressure here on Alex going into this matchup especially, but Zywoo, he hasn't wavered. Are we going to see him waver in a grand final? That's the next question.
Well, exactly. I mean, you kind of touched on it there, but FURIA are such an unpredictable team, right? How do you kind of deal with that as Vitality coming into this best of 3?
It is very tough, and especially because before that tournament, I thought as FURIA as a team that is, if the A plan works, it's fine. They're going to roll over you. They're going to snowball you. But if they have trouble in the beginning, they will falter. Well, that's not the case anymore. This is wrong. For that tournament, it is wrong. They have proven that they have depth. They can come back into games. They lose. I mean, they don't have that much open kill at the beginning of the rounds, and they still find it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could, but they have it in them.
Yeah, with their trading as well, their stat lines aren't fantastic at all. So it's really strange. The 5 individuals not within the top 5 in the tournament, not within the top 10 in the tournament, right? Normally coming into these environments saying, oh, they've got 3 players in the top 10 and that's why they've been getting through. No, they've just been doing it with a very stubborn, I would say, style of CS. You could see on Overpass yesterday, they were really persistent on going long, Banana as well. They have their game plan and they make it work. And then they can just, I don't know how they break you down, but they're able to do it. And I think you have to credit Art and the coaching staff for that one here over at FURIA, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they are really good at realizing every inch of the map that they can take for free, and they will do it. So it puts you under such a lot of pressure. If you don't take just one area of the map, one information, they're going to take it instantly. Yes, that's a risk sometimes, but when it works, they have everything for them.
I mean, Chad, I know you picked up a little demo for us to watch.
It's a funny one.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce it to the crowd?
So this is when they played last time, and this was just a bit of an eco stack that the guys from Vitality decided to mount. And look, we've seen these come out on different positions on the map, but the reason I bring this up and the reason I want to focus on this is because losing to ecos is something that has been very, very prominent for Vitality in this tournament. They're losing to those low buy rounds that they should be converting. If they can stop that, if they can change that and be winning the rounds that they should, then they can actually get some commanding leads in games. But if they're going to continue to drop those rounds, FURIA can stop them. Just to cite some stats, when they played last time, they split the pistols 2-2. But the problem was with the pistols that Vitality won, they lost the force buy. So they didn't really get away with anything there. FURIA, in my opinion, got the better of that situation. So, if they are going to be losing the pistols, they need to have nice inventive ecos like that, and they need to make sure when they force the team onto eco that they can convert against FURIA, because it's going to be very important today.
Well, yeah, and I mean, obviously we saw Vitality playing NLG yesterday, and it was a series that really went down to the wire in that first map. What are you kind of taking from that coming into this game?
Well, we said it first. I think Alex had one of his most impressive performances, considering the importance of the series, right? I also think that Vitality is showing resilience, mentally speaking, and it has been an issue for the French team for the longest time that we would get a little bit angry, we would have our emotions take over, but they can actually stay calm, and I think they have managed to find the right balance between being very excited. We have seen them get very vocal and shout, and with the arm and everything, but then when they need to, I think they can find their calm, and this is new to me.
Yeah, something that's important with at least the narrative that's been pushed out of the Vitality camp is everybody's on the same page with work ethic and having the same game plan or being able to look at it and approach it in the same way, and that's important because the French in the past, I think you can attest to this, relatively dysfunctional. Like, people won't remember, but there's events like back in 2015 where they would just be arguing non-stop, and this is at the event live, right? So these aren't in-game things either. This is like personal on the outside. So for the French to be able to fix that, this is one step in the right direction, and they're already playing fantastic CS, at least out of the active teams right now. Lots of teams are skipping, and they question their rank right now as number 4 in the world. But in terms of teams who are currently playing, they have to be within the top 5.
Well, I mean, I think we can say exactly the same thing for FURIA, right? In terms of work ethic, they've all been stepping up individually when we've needed them to.
Yes, very much so. FURIA is an enigma to me because every time I see them play, I'm thinking to myself, okay, take your time. This is 1 event, this is 2 events. Maybe I should be careful with what I say. And every time they surprise me, they show new layers to their tactic. They show skill. I mean, they have everything. They have the whole package. Now, I don't know if this is going to be forever. This is long term. But the way they have been playing these past few weeks, if you just copy that and pass it on for the next years, they are a top team. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, they will have to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, I think a big thing right now is even if it is just now, they still have lightning in a bottle, the way that they're playing, the way that they're continuing to push. It's not just one tournament and then they dip off. People haven't been able to counter it yet. They haven't been able to adjust. And that's what's impressive to me. So the longevity of this, it is in question. But when I was in there playing the show match, I had obviously Fall and Gerard, everyone, and I said, what do you guys think? Like, what is this matchup for you? And they said 50-50. Right? And that's how I feel about this game as well, because you have Vitality who have the experience, but you have FURIA who are still continuing, even though the pressure is mounting, playing like they have nothing to lose. They're just playing such loose Counter-Strike and going out there already exceeding their own expectations, exceeding everyone in the Counter-Strike world's expectations. So I'm hoping when they step onto the stage right now for the grand final, they haven't compounded any pressure and they just continue to play the CS we've seen so far.
I mean, we've touched on it before, but we need to do it again. They took down Astralis not just in a best of 1, but in a best of 3, and that really cemented them as a team that could take down top-tier CS teams.
Yes, they've had many of these reference series in a very, very short time. If you think about it, they have taken down Astralis twice, as you said. In Dallas, they lost to Liquid, sure, but the first map was really, really tight. Then they got a roll over on the second one. They pushed ENCE to 3 maps. So these are all top team, established top teams, top 3 probably. And FURIA gave them a run on every series they had recently. So how crazy is that when you consider where they are in their development?
I think that's I'm just astonished, right? I've almost don't have words for the situation because we've had teams who have grinded like ENCE, right? They've made it to the top, they've been a consistent unit now. But FURIA, just in the way that they've gone from seemingly nothing, obviously at the minor, there was a little bit of excitement around them. For me, it was mainly just their prowess on the T side with extra layers of strategies. But they're competing with the best of them. And I think that's what the important thing is. They're not scared. You can see that in their playstyle. They're very aggressive. They back themselves in individually. And all these factors with the quirkiness, with the fact that they built a foundation, they have confidence, and they've all bought into the project, another team, they're just going to continue to do what they're doing. And this is another test to see if they can withstand any pressure, even if it exists for these guys.
Well, exactly. I mean, we're going to be putting 2 players under the microscope in Zywoo and in our head-to-head. 2 players that have really been shining throughout this whole tournament.
I mean, we have talked a lot about Zywoo, and I think this is absolutely rightful and justified. But just to touch upon Art, before that semi-final yesterday, he was having a quiet tournament, right? The stats were not for him. That's the case for the whole FURIA team. Yeah. But how impactful he was in that series in semi-final, to me, was mind-blowing. When you are captain, you have the AWP, you are involved in 50% of the opening duels at the beginning of the round. He was stopping the frags, was stopping the damage, he was presenting clutches, he had 2 crazy clutches. So when you, as a captain, are able to do that and push your team through, even though you're having a hard tournament or a bad tournament, to me that's such a strong sign of resilience.
Yeah, and he takes a lot of responsibility, right? Positions that he puts himself in to allow the team to make certain stacks or plays, he is doing that on his own. Not necessarily, as say Inferno as an example, he wasn't getting kills, but he was getting information, which was, very important in that regard. So I think the key thing with the FURIA roster is Art needs to be the leader to get them into situations, but everybody can step up and have moments. We've seen that every single player on this team has had moments when they've needed to, a clutch, a multi-kill. It's not necessarily the star performances that we're used to, but it's their play style mixed with the individuals knowing what they need to do and getting it done when they have to, when the chips are down and making it work, that is most impressive about FURIA.
Well, definitely. And we're going to be heading into our map veto to see exactly how this best of 3 is going to be playing out. Anything that you're expecting to come from this?
Well, in terms of veto, I believe that Dust2 and Train are not going to be part of the map split.
Yep.
Dust2 is getting ridden off by FURIA. That's their natural veto. It's a good map for Vitality, makes sense. Now, the Train ban as well. all of this follows logic, and now this is when it can potentially get crazy.
So last time round, the picks came in and we had FURIA picking Inferno, and then the follow-up pick by Vitality was Nuke. I think they might maybe stay away from Nuke this time. I don't see Vitality wanting to take it there again, but maybe Overpass. We have seen that as a weakness for FURIA, or maybe not a weakness, but a map where they've shown that they maybe don't have it as together as the other maps. So that'll be maps 1 and 2, and then 3. I think both teams would probably be happy with, you know, Nuke ending up there. Oh, FURIA actually getting rid of Mirage. I thought that's a map where they might feel, you know, confident just taking fights.
Yeah, I believe we will see Nuke. I mean, Vitality would have to deliberately choose to let Vertigo as a third map when they haven't played in the past 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If they let Vertigo through here, they know something I don't.
Well, that's the thing. We haven't.
Ooh, we have it! We have it!
What a way to wrap up our
Yes!
final. That is
Vertigo the third
unbelievable.
map!
Well, we need to hope we get there, right? This
Yeah.
is the question,
Yeah,
if we can
that's-
even make it to that third map. And I think something to note here, FURIA, they played the map twice and they're undefeated, but they haven't played it in an official since the changes. So we know what Vitality can do. They've got the smoke for the hole in the wall. They've already sorted that one out. They've got their executes on point. If we get that far, it'll be interesting, but that's the question. Are we even going to get that far?
Well, we're going to be talking about that as we head into our predictions. Is it going to be a 3-map series, Maniac? What do you think?
I believe we have everything for 3 maps here. Right? Chat was saying it, 50-50. We know we were not supposed to say that at the desk. We're not supposed to say it, but there are so many arguments, so many points to be made for each team. I mean, you talk about individuals, talking about tactics, experience on one hand, the craziness on the other, the emotions, both sides. So yes, we have everything for a third map. And it pains me to say it, but I believe FURIA is going to make it in 3 maps. They have convinced me.
Okay.
Well, betraying your front
Yep.
shoes there. What about you, Sponge? Are you going to be
Hurts
siding with
me.
the Brazilians?
Look, I think that I'm just going to stick on the hype train that is FURIA right now. I think that this is a matchup that could go either way, but they've impressed me time and time again, and I may as well back them in here because this would just be a fairy tale run from these guys and a fantastic way for them to show up on the international scene. So let's see if the Brazilians can do it.
Well, I'm going to go completely the other direction. I'm going to go with Vitality because A, I believe in the star power of Zoe, and Alex, right? He's our resident Brit here. I can't not say them, so I'm going to be going with Vitality for this, but I do believe it is going to be a 3-map series. And
Okay.
Swiggy as well.
Swiggy too.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you very much,
here's
Swiggy.
the thing, right? With the matchups going last time 16-8 in the favor of FURIA, that's stomping. So that's not close matchups, right? But if Maniacs is what's saying is right, they know how to prepare for it, and this time around Vitality can be more settled, then there is a chance for a really good series and then maybe to even take it easily.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have a look at our user predictions as well to see what the fans at home are saying. And siding with the Brazilians of FURIA, not really too unexpected, right? The Brazilian scene and its fan base is absolutely massive, and they're definitely going to be out supporting their boys here.
Underdog story, everybody loves it. Everyone gets
they do.
behind it. I think the odds will probably reflect a pretty 50-50 game as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at our Pinnacle Esports odds. Yeah, so it's still favouring in the side of FURIA, but that is for the first map. Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll be coming back in between maps, and we'll be having a look at our Pinnacle odds as they update. But of course, you at home can be watching on our Premium Pass. Make sure you are subscribed to the Face It Twitch channel, and you will get access to 10 unique player POV streams, an interactive map. You're able to cheer for your favourite player as well, which is really awesome. So you can see who else is cheering on for your favourite player. But I'm quickly going to come to these guys. And if you are watching with our Premium Pass, these are the players they're going to be watching. So, Chad, let's come to you first.
K Serato had a really big game on Inferno yesterday, so maybe watch him, see if he can do the same magic again.
I'm going to go with Art, just because he has blown my mind times and times again, every round. Even when he doesn't get fragged, the fact that he gets so much information, he takes so many risks, it's just an exciting player to watch.
Well, exactly, and I'm incredibly excited to be able to get into this grand final. But before we do that, we're going to be heading to a quick break, but make sure you join us back after that. Introducing the ECS Premium Pass. The unique viewing experience allows you to get further into the action. It enables you to focus on any player within the game and even the ECS official observer. Subscribers will have access to interactive HUDs, detailed statistics on all players, and an improved minimap, and much more. All Face It TV Twitch subscribers will receive full access to 11 additional streams for the ultimate CS viewing experience. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now for only $4.99 and watch CS the way you want to.
I thought we were over. I thought we were done. You took my heart and made it colder. I took my soul and tried to run, but I
What's up, London? We've got Alex, we've got a UK guy. I want to hear Yobbo chants, I want to hear Roadman chants, air Nikes, all that kind of nonsense. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting final. Vertigo as a potential decider. Things are going to get nasty, man. They're going to get disgusting, Dan.
Yeah, this is a really weird one. This has thrown me completely because I feel like Furia, they're a team, James. They've got all the technology for that map. They have all the know-how for it. They've got the set pieces. Then you know they're nerding out on that map. You know it. That's their bread and butter. Vitality, I've got no idea. I didn't expect that. You can see, obviously, from what they said in the decks, there's no history. They have no history on it. It's very unusual.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's fear of Nuke. I think it was between Nuke and Vertigo, so I don't know if that's fear from Furia. If you look at the HLTV stats, Furia are at an advantage, on paper at least, on almost every single map. So, of course, they might not be playing the level of competition that Vitality might be in Europe, but as we've seen, Furia are an extremely dangerous team. So I am very excited to see where this one might go. This is really interesting for me. The knife is about to start to see who starts on the CT side of Inferno. This is going to be a big match.
Yeah, it really will be. And I think it's really interesting too because all these maps, both teams have there's a lot of data out there. Well, there's a lot of data out there, except really for Vertigos. But for the first two maps, Inferno and Overpass, these teams, I would expect that they'd be studying each other. You know, Furia, this is the thing, right? They've broken out into the top level. Now everyone's eyes are on them. Like their kind of quirky defaults and all the rest of it, their set pieces, their boosts, all of that. People have a keen eye on it. So I would expect Vitality to be quite prepared for their shenanigans.
Yeah, we talk about the T side for Furia, and they will be starting on the T side now. Furia did get some challenges in some of the previous matches, especially on Inferno. We saw how many liberties Art was able to take in terms of information. When teams were pushing A, they didn't really challenge him on B. They put smokes up, he just went beyond them and so on. I don't expect that they will get away with that versus Vitality, and I think that Vitality might be able to try and abuse that. I'm sure they will. They'll have to expect that there's going to be 4 people on the A bomb site quite a lot of the time, so I would expect we'll see them trying to breach B with some late timing, but it will be Vitality starting on the CT side, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. We saw some clips of both teams with really hype coaches, and you know, Alex is well up for this one as well. I'm sure he would love to win this on home turf.
Yeah, and that man on your screen there, Zaiwu, he's such a crazy X factor for the team. I mean, I think I think maybe Henry, somebody said it earlier, you know, perhaps behind Simple, the best player behind Simple, which is pretty ridiculous. The fact that he can do the things that he does, you know, just pulling out aces out of nowhere. You never know when he's going to go off, and he can create such crazy situations in the match, and that's something that Furia are going to have to face up against now. And I'm really curious what Zairu's performance will be like here. You know, he's already up for the MVP. His stats are ridiculous, as always, in this tournament.
Yeah, I think for those of you on Twitch Premium Pass, I think Zairu's a good pick for this particular one. I think he's going to be key for victories in general, which is kind of obvious for Vitality. But generally speaking, I'm really interested to see how Vitality will approach Banana when they're on the T side. But again, they'll be starting on the CT side, so we'll see them defend first. There's man Alex taking a look at the crowd. He's got the England flag on his back of his chair. So we will soon be into this. This is a big final for both of these teams, both rising up the ranks at the moment. Furia looking to be the #1 team in Brazil, but look, they're already looking beyond that. As they said in interviews, it's not about Brazil, it's about the world. They want to rise as much as possible, and maybe this will give us a clue as to where their ceiling might be in the short term.
Yeah, one of the great things about Furia, as well on their T sides, they are really good at mixing up the pace, but they have that affinity for playing fast, for playing aggressive, for pushing smokes, to go for contact plays. They have that structure, but they also have enough space within it to allow their individuals to make plays at any point. And that's a really exciting play style to watch. Obviously, this map can be a bit more limiting due to the heavy amount of choke points that you're up against. Not as many open spaces as a map like Mirage or a Dusty or something like that. But it's still going to be really interesting to see the kinds of aggressions on their T side. I'm curious what they think Vitality's weaknesses will be, because I am sure they've studied up, and you can tell in some of their past matches, they've been able to, I think Art said it, just based off of what he had seen of some of his opposition, he changed the veto last minute. He's like, yeah, I know how to abuse this team in this way, so we're going to go for this veto. They obviously have a keen eye of how to counter-strat their opponents, so I'm curious what they have prepared here for Vitality.
All right, the countdown has begun. And we are Off to the races. Vitality will defend to begin with. 4 players of Kevlar, RPK with a smoke grenade and a defuse kit. Vinny's been made the raid boss. P250 raid boss on Inferno. This is quite rare looking at T sides of most of the teams, but I love to see it. So we'll see if he's able to get those one-shots over a Glock. Art and K-Serato with some grenades as well. We can see that smoke and the flash are about to be deployed. Jumping into top mid, trying to avoid getting a headshot, but it's not going out so well for them at the moment. 1-for-1, NBK not showing, but he is getting tagged. They know he's there. Pops out at the right time, the bomb's being dropped, and suddenly it's K-Serato alone. They've only got 1 frag so far, FURIA, and he'll get smoked off the bomb as well. This could hardly be worse for him.
Yep, Zayu already activated right at the beginning. That's what you want to see, a quick 3K from him. And at this point, it might just be K-Serato looking for damage and, well, money primarily. There's an extra $300 per kill. That's what he's going to be trying to get. That is an extra smoke grenade or HE or flashbang. Let's see if he can get anything else done here. That's beautiful. It's a 1 versus 2 now. Surely not. There's no way that K-Serato can turn this into a winnable situation. There's still 2 players there. Flashbang out. Goes for another peek. Apex turns away. Can't quite find it. There it is. Alex last man standing. K-Serato. Would you believe it? That doesn't make any sense, James.
You cannot be serious. How on earth does it start like this? How does it start like this? 4 versus 1, smokes off the bomb. K-Serato, oh my God, showing his worth every round. This is absolutely ridiculous. Beautiful play from him. Oh, it's so nasty. The first round, look at the coaches like they've won the whole tournament. It's the first round.
Oh my God.
You're 4v1, your Vitality, you're 4v1, you smoked off the bomb. And you lose to FURIA like that. This is not how you want to start a best-of-3 series in the grand final.
I don't understand how that's, I don't think I've ever seen something quite like that in a situation, like in a grand final. That is so ridiculous. And we already get I think we're in a tech pause, James. So a moment to breathe. I love also the response from FURIA, how absolutely passionate, just hype they are at all points. It's so awesome to watch. K-Serato, my God, what the hell was that?
How can you not love this team, honestly? We've had the pleasure of watching them in the online matches, so we saw them coming, but you can't expect things like that. You can't. You can't expect things like that.
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
Like, what else could you do? What else could they do at that point? What could they do?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could make the argument that Vitality were giving him too much respect instead of just trying to face with 2 or 3 players at once for the trade. Because K-Serato was able to isolate quick 1v1s with his shoulder peaks, but still, you know, you don't ever expect that to actually happen.
So in terms of too much respect, one thing we saw, I think it was North who were adjusting, where they realized that they had to be more proactive on their CT side to deal with FURIA's T side. You can't lay back and just allow them to execute because their executes are so solid. You've got to get in there and do something. So I do wonder, again, I think there's been a lot of data for Vitality to use to try and make a difference in the rounds to come. But again, that is not the start they wanted. They've just got 1 player reconnecting to their server, and then we will soon be good to go.
It just makes no sense. I'm just like replaying that round in my mind. It just makes no sense, James.
Yeah, and they've just got to sit there and wait for this tech pause to be resumed. So, like, is this even worse? They're just stuck in the nightmare. They can't refresh things with another round, even if it is a force by loss or something. They've just got to sit there and think about how they were all deleted by K-Serato in the first round.
Yeah. And Zayu, he got like a quick 3K as well. It's pretty dominant for Vitality there in that top mid setup. Well, I mean, I think this is really cool to see personally, just because I do like it when FURIA gets these good starts on the T side, just because you get to see their game plan just go into full swing, and it's really interesting, just the kinds of decisions that they make. Again, they are a team that does things a little bit differently compared to everybody else, which is another reason why people enjoy watching them so much, because they also play kind of slow, also, quite fast as well. So, you know, it's always an exciting prospect checking out their T sides. Vitality, though, obviously there is so much individual skill packed onto that team, and when they're on a force buy, which they will be on most likely here on the CT side of Inferno, there is a lot of danger around every single corner, so it should be quite fun. Lots of prospects for the 1 Deags. We've got 3 Deagles out. In fact, actually, James, they've not gone for the full buy here, but here is a replay. There's a nice triple from Zayu. It should be over. It should be over at that point. Job should be done. apparently not, James.
Yeah, those two kills towards short, made things a lot more difficult. I suppose they could have taken deeper angles, but you're just not expecting this to happen. You can't reasonably expect this to happen. There are 4 of them. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, when you look at that, the replay, it does seem like Alex is really far away from Apex there. I mean, the flashbang, it may have been that flashbang just full blinded him, just like he was fully blinded. That could be the reason why he was really slow to trade Apex.
It's a difficult spot. You don't want to walk into your teammate's bullet as well. So there's a PC being replaced. I think Case Ratto's PC exploded after that 4K. So they're sticking his SSD into a new one, so it shouldn't be too much longer. But what a way to start off the finals. That is absolutely crazy. I do think it's... I'm really curious. Vertigo would be insane. I remember when Cobblestone first came into the map pool and we saw the Mag 7 plays towards one of the bomb sites and just absolutely crazy, like really exciting stuff. I do wonder if Vertigo's at that point or what we can expect from there. I hope it goes there just because it's just going to be carnage.
Well, the weird thing is that there's no established metagame yet on Vertigo. I think we might be another month or 2 away from that. I think that will kind of hit as we get into the next major. It seems like there's enough time before that major for that to be the case. So I mean, I feel like there are some leaders on how you should play Vertigo, but it's still not fully established. Like, I think, we brought up Optic a lot because MSL is obviously nerded out like crazy on that map, and they have some really clean set pieces and movement around the map. But at this point in time, every single matchup on that map just delivers something very different. Whether it's fast games, slow games, biasing one side over the other, or playing more defaults, everyone plays it differently right now. So we have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to Inferno again, I'm interested in how Vitality deal with Art on Banana, and if he will. But again, I mean, who knows? FURIA may realize the differences that happened in the recent Inferno, where he started to get naded off his position and he was forced away. Maybe he starts to rotate more. It seems that FURIA do have the plan Bs to the plan As, and they're still comfortable. So that will be interesting. I sincerely hope and expect that Vitality will offer more of a challenge in that respect, even if they are just for denial of information, not allowing them to have Banana for free, because it was free in that game of Inferno that I'm referencing.
Yeah, I'm looking to see some disgusting things from Apex on this map and in this series in general. I think the craziness of Apex. He's had some good games recently as well, but he can deliver a lot when it comes to being very aggressive, the entry frags, being a very dynamic rifler. So I feel like for me, he's one of the focuses on Vitality, especially because against FURIA, you really need your individuals to stand up tall because they have a pretty deep talent. And that's something that we didn't necessarily expect. And I think that's always going to be the way, isn't it, James? Because we go so much off name value, but if players just come up out of nowhere, like let's take Obo for example. Obviously he's very young and there's a lot of development for his game that's left, but obviously the mechanical skill that he has is pretty ridiculous. And there's a lot of players like that coming up now, and Furious is another example of a group of guys like that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they haven't been separated as well.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to buy a player, it's going to cost you much more than is reasonable. No, okay, never mind. We'll just stick together then. It's something we don't always see. We sometimes see players getting poached, and then you don't really see the potential of that team. But I think we're certainly seeing it now. So if I'm not mistaken, if FURIA win this entire tournament, then some of their staff are getting tattoos, which is
nice.
Which is pretty awesome. Look forward to seeing the results of that.
The logo reminds me of Thundercats. Do you ever get that vibe?
I never thought about it, but now you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. The other cool thing about the fact that they don't split up is that they're in this situation where everybody's on the same page. They are just like one unit. They're one guy essentially, almost like like all 5 players operating in exactly the same way, same understanding, same expectations, same goals. So clearly the same amount of discipline and work ethic as well. That can be one of the difficult things when you're playing on a team, is finding 5 people who are on the same page in all of the right ways. And it seems like FURIA have that, and they've got the right flow. They've got great minds for the game. And it is. I mean, we've seen that comparison drawn between when Luminosity came up, and it is really comparable, and that was one of the things that Luminosity had going for them. They had Fallen, who was kind of this, the fearless leader who really instilled not only a culture for the entire team, but he also helped the entire team to understand how to play the game. And they had, because they were stuck in Brazil initially, where you don't have the biggest pool of talent to play against. So the only way to get to rise to the level that LG rose to is by just understanding the game, is studying it really hard. And clearly that's what FURIA have been doing, because they've come up with so much cool stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. One of the, just a quick update, the PCs are just testing something before they resume, so hopefully that is sorted out very shortly indeed. We'll keep you updated. One thing that I like about the stronger Brazilian teams is that they absolutely have their own identity on the server. And that can be difficult to deal with if you're used to playing against something else. Can be unusual to play against, some people have commented, but I'm really interested to see where this one will go.
I mean, that's the point we're at now, right? For FURIA, they've proven themselves at this point. They've proven that they have a pretty deep map pool, a pretty wide map pool, and they've got really skilled individuals, good leadership. They've proven that they can hang with the top dogs. But the next big test is when now everybody knows to study them, how well are they going to do in future tournaments when people know and know them, are more used to playing against them, and have an idea of what to expect. That's where the real test is going to be next for FURIA, I would say. But yeah, their meteoric rise has been pretty amazing to watch, and if they're able to actually take this tournament, that was just, no one would have predicted that. Firstly, no one would have predicted them to do so well at Dallas as well.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to run this deep. I thought they would. I was hoping they would do well, but I thought they've got a flurry of lands coming up, but maybe they'll still be in the online mode, and it might take a while. We have, what is that made of? We need beach balls. We need Freya beach balls at this point. I did want to note actually what an amazing job she has done on the desk. Her first time desk hosting like a duck to water. Absolutely brilliant. So props to her. Give her some shout outs on Twitter and Instagram and so on. She's done a really good job, as we expected.
Loving the Alex support there in the crowd. That's good. There's some Bardov support there as well. What do you make of that, James?
That sign is amazing.
Nice.
I love that sign. That's the best sign ever, as far as I'm concerned.
Does it beat the sign with just your head? Just see a giant version of your head.
That was a pretty cool sign, but I like that's 4 signs in one, so it's pretty cool. Great support for Alex in the crowds. So there's still some PC changing going on. Let me find out what's going on. Okay, some kind of graphical issue. Hopefully. Okay, still shuffling the PCs. Let's see in the booth. I want to see what's going on.
That trophy. It's glorious, James.
Yeah, it's a nice trophy.
That's actually very nice.
Okay, so in the top left, you can see the admins are sorting out the PC.
When was the last time you won a trophy, James?
I win a trophy every day by being me.
Do you, though? I don't know. I don't know about that.
A physical trophy.
Yeah, there's going to be like a time in life when you got a medal, like for, I don't know, like a relay race or something. You got long legs?
I do. I can't remember. I have a terrible memory. I'm not sleeping. I'm just playing CS. So I can't remember anything. What about you?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Don't know.
I can't remember anything. I think
glad we had this chat.
I think we've confirmed this job is slowly killing us, James. I think that's what we've confirmed.
It's a great way to die. I don't know.
It's true. It's true.
For those of you who didn't know, this venue used to be a swimming pool, a
Really?
giant swimming pool, and it's still underneath the floor.
So technically, would we be underwater if it was still?
Hopefully not, Dan. I did say to one of our guys in the back, if he takes a dump in there, I'll give him 50 quid. I don't think he's done it though.
Why would you say that? Why would you be that man? Why would you be that guy?
Why not? I
What if
want to see how far people are willing to go.
I was going to say, what if you really needed 50 quid? Then there's a problem. We have a problem.
Hopefully not.
So what do you make of Vitality so far? They've obviously been like we have some really compelling storylines recently because you got Furia, you got Vitality, you've got Heroic, who are actually doing like very well. Also, you've got Avanga, another team that's definitely a solid dark horse. Actually, Avanga are kind of like the opposite playstyle of Furia as well, which is quite interesting. They play their own style of Counter-Strike, which is very annoying to play against, but they play extremely slow paced.
So we're going to have a quick clip of the crazy reactions we've seen from both these teams in the matches leading up to the finals. So let's have a look at this. Even in the first round, oh, beautiful. Probably destroyed a headset just there. I love the hype, man, the passion. That's what it's all about. Probably another ridiculous round for K-Srat, so his teammates are like, what? Why is this happening? Glad it is, though.
And he's going to need some throat lozenges, James. He's going absolutely mad. It is actually so awesome to see coaches in the back and just seeing their emotional responses because they're not sort of dialed into the game in the same way. They get to just go absolutely ham for their teams or look extremely worried and anxious.
Yeah.
It used to actually be very fun watching Threat because Threat was just always looking extremely anxious and worried at all times.
Damn, Apex loving life. I want to see some more high-pitched screaming today, for
You know
sure.
what? His screams are pretty legit. The only person I can think of that has maybe more of a legit scream is maybe actually Smoothia, James. He's got a high pitch on him.
Vitality actually signed someone's head yesterday. I don't know if his head is still covered in ink today. It was hiding under a cap, but that is somewhere on Twitter, so keep an eye out for that. I'm sure some of the guys have been retweeting that.
It is hard to top Olofmeister though. He signed a baby, I think, very early on in his career.
Yeah. I was jealous, man. I want to sign a baby.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to sign a baby.
Somebody procure me a baby.
Yeah, please. Bring us a baby.
I demand a baby. All right, we're going to go to a quick Sound of CSGO video while they finish off with this stuff. So we'll see you back here in a few minutes.
All right, James, so why are we here?
Today we are going to use a flamethrower.
Are you serious? I guess it's you, isn't it? Okay, guess that makes sense. Oh, ostriches. Guns that very well should not really ever be in Counter-Strike. I think this might qualify. We have a bloody flamethrower.
Does it class as a gun? Or is it just a, I don't know?
It's a flame
More of
throwing
a
device. So
Objects.
More of a support weapon, if anything. Right here we have the Vietnam era M9 flamethrower. So flamethrowers actually came out and saw use in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and then basically ceased out of all military service, mainly because the Geneva Convention banned them from use. They were considered inhumane. But biggest thing about this is they used them for clearing out bunkers, caves, fortifications, stuff like that. Incredibly easy. It did save a lot of lives when it came to taking over fortresses and things like that.
So it reduces the risk on entry, essentially, because the place was filled with fire.
Exactly.
We are going to be using it on cardboard today. So how far does this go?
With the proper mixture, it can actually shoot up to about 70 feet. Wow.
Okay. And there's a glove. What is the glove for?
The glove is mainly our use for the clients, is to make sure they don't get burned on the front hand, because it is quite toasty.
Okay, so the guys told me that I should not wear shorts because I might get a tan on my legs. So I've worn jeans today for that reason. And yeah, so we're going to put it on my back and then away we go. This should be very interesting indeed. Can I squeeze the pilot light? Can I? Yeah. I love my job. Are we good to go?
We're all recording.
All right.
Wait one. I'm gonna go ahead and pressurize the tank. It's gonna make a bunch of weird noises. Don't worry, it's normal. So if you see me running, run the other way.
just doesn't sound good, man.
Pressurize the wand. There you go, and I'm going to be standing right here behind you.
Okay.
When you're ready, your target's right there in front of you.
So I'm squeezing this one slowly second.
Yeah. So start with the front one. Make sure you're holding it sideways again.
Oh, sideways.
Like
Okay.
Yeah, sideways,
Yeah.
just like that.
All right.
Let off. Re-attack.
Oh my God! Haha.
Got about one more squeeze.
Holy
And that's it. Awesome. What'd you think?
What happened to the target?
Oh, it's gone.
So James has just had his hands on a prehistoric, almost, it feels like that, it's from the 40s, of course, a flamethrower. And how was that experience? Very novel.
At the beginning, they had to, I don't know, after it was loaded, they had to turn some knobs and things and get it prepared. And they said it's going to make some weird noises. And it did make some weird noises, and I was like, is this thing going to explode on me? But it was pretty awesome. It's kind of like Ghostbusters. You wear it on your back. You have to wear a glove for the hand which is at the front because it's close to the nozzle, if you will. So you slowly just feel an increase in heat. And I wasn't expecting it to go so far, to be so large, or to go for so long. So it was pretty crazy. And I think we've both shot a lot of different weapons by this point at various locations. And this has to be by far the most awesome and ridiculous thing that I've ever done. And I'm not quite sure if it can be topped by a handheld weapon at the very least. It was awesome. It completely melted the target, and it was just quite a ridiculous spectacle. So I loved every second of it, but it is absolutely crazy.
I like the Ghostbusters comparison because of when you first shot it, I don't think anyone knew quite exactly what to expect. I've never seen a flamethrower go off before that point.
Yeah.
So there's just like jets of like the white fluid, you know, the actual combustible fluid that was going to be, you know, the flames eventually. So that was pretty amazing. The target also incinerated.
There was no target once the flames went away, but it was cool how the flames caught up to the jet fuel as well.
Yeah.
It was literally jet fuel we were firing, so that was absolutely insane. Definitely shouldn't be in CSGO.
Yeah.
Let's not have that in the game. That is Pyro, which can just stay in TF2 and not be in CSGO whatsoever, but it was spectacular.
So that's off your bucket list.
It is, yeah, it's melted the bucket.
There's a warning on the back of this love. Take a little and you can't get enough. It's a devil.
Nobody's gonna understand why you still feel the way you do. Even on my lonely days, I know that I am still loved. It's pretty often that I feel I just don't fit in, and that's okay, 'cause everybody's different, and not everything works out. Sometimes I just need to step back and value who I am. Sometimes I miss where I come from, but I am glad to be here. Up and down, around and back again, year after year. Nobody's gonna save me, nobody but myself, so I better get to it. Money don't mean shit, all that matters is what I leave behind. Money don't mean shit, all that matters is
Welcome back, London. Here we go. We're back into the action. The technical difficulties have been resolved, and I think maybe I hope there's no confidence issues that need to be resolved for Vitality, James, because they did get shut down pretty hard, and they had a good 30 minutes to think about just how badly K Serato destroyed them.
Right then, maybe that's time for Vitality to recover from the horror of that pistol round. A 1v4 from Boiler with a Glock. Not something you see every day, but now they've got bigger weapons. FURIA, Vitality, with a number of Desert Eagles. There's a smoke grenade to cut off a short player, just about. He's got a flank in Boiler as well. And the knife was ready for FURIA. So far, so good on this anti-force by Vitality. Out of position, moving towards the Arch Library area. How much fishing do they want to do? That's a good start.
Pinpoint accuracy from Alex, and Apex finds the bomb, and he smokes it off. This is a problem. All of a sudden, FURIA, they got perhaps a bit too excitable, charging up all the way towards A with very little to go back and ferry the bomb back to that A-bomb site, and now they find themselves in this predicament. What a weird spot to be in. Apex takes the duel, though, before ZywOo can get into position to help him out. However, there are guns to be collected here for ZywOo, but it's just a measly MP5. What could he really possibly offer up with this? He needs to make the right guesses here, but you can see that he actually hits the step to line up, but AbleJ will shut him down. Excellent damage done, though. 4 players killed. Can't really be too complaining about that one if you're Vitality.
Yeah, they had a long time to think about that one, and they did pretty damn well. That was scary for FURIA. Dodged a bullet there, just about. The last one at least, because they didn't dodge the rest of them. The late rotation with the bomb almost, well, it was catastrophic, more or less. But the Kriegs start to come out for FURIA. Vitality with some more Desert Eagles, and they've got a lot of utility, Vitality. So they've done the calculations, they've had the Abacus out, and they will try to cause more mayhem in this particular round. These smoke grenades will be used to try and ruin the timing of FURIA and force them into an error. NBK didn't see the R sticking out by the window there. Maybe it's just the X-ray outline.
Yeah, I think so. It's by design, not to be spotted when you're perched up there on the balcony. And these rounds are often very annoying when you're playing against a very top-level team. They're so good at delaying you for as long as possible. We can see there's still 4 smoke grenades to be deployed here for Vitality, and there is a minute left now. So they've paced out these smokes pretty well. A flashbang on ZywOo is also the boost slightly elevated. He'll pick off Yuri from the top of that boost, and that's a great find. And the top mid is like that. In some areas are a bit more elevated, which does allow you to look over the smoke with the boost. And the FURIA now going for that B play. It's got to work out for them.
Yeah, we've got 3 players here already for the CT side, with a 4th on the way in NBK. No flashes at this point for Vitality, so there's still plenty of time for FURIA to clean things out. There's a big flashbang, and that's going to disable what the CTs can do. ZywOo's good for 1. But how much more is there in this round? NBK maybe playing for the bomb. That Molotov's going to be an issue, though. That will stop an angle being held. He'll show some presence, expecting the plant to be in one place, but it's behind the fountain. And that is worst case scenario ticked off for FURIA. Now it's about clean up, you can see. NBK looking for a tight deagle shot, looking for some pre-fire, but he will be denied. That leaves Alex to try and collect something. Maybe a rifle can be found somewhere. I'm sure he doesn't want to hold on to this MAC-10.
Yeah, I think, you know, FURIA, they really do have to survive with all 3. And I love what Alex is doing. He's suggesting that he's at Banana with that smoke. And he's actually here in CT spawn. There's no way they're going to expect him to be around this corner. Surely not. Ard is actually looking for it, though. And he's going to find Alex just checking everything just to be sure. And that's so important. We can't forget that FURIA, in the previous round to that, they lost 4 players. And in that round, they lose 2 as well. So their economy's been hit pretty hard, honestly, in the following rounds after the pistol. And now Vitality get their full buy in the AWP, the AUGs, all the grenades you could possibly ask for. Only have 1 kit, though, but they've got full utility. So given the damage that FURIA suffered, they are fragile here, James. They've got very little money in the tank.
ZywOo on the AWP. So again, a reminder, on the Twitch Premium Pass, if you are using it, I do recommend having a look at ZywOo on this game of Inferno. That's my personal pick. The desk mentioned K Serato. I'm not sure if they mentioned the second player. I don't remember, but There we go, 3-0. So just about a clean start for FURIA as the first buy comes in. They've taken top mid very, very quickly. There is a stronghold on Banana for the time being. We'll see what the timing's like. That smoke grenade will leave Arch open and take the library position away. So there is some isolation to be had. You'll see there's a two-man focus from Vitality on the Arch itself.
That's a great HE. Big damage done. Baiting out the shots, and that's pretty important. Getting across the angle. There's another player there. And Arndt will go down. Nice peek coming in from the Zywoo. RPK preemptively dropping the smoke. And FURIA, they don't have to commit to this, but they are in position towards that short side. They will force the issue. K-Serato defends the flank here as Vinny opens up the front. And FURIA expanding on the bomb side, doing the damage that they can. Vinny jumping on top there, and he can only get one. And that's going to be the round there for Vitality. Great defense offered up by them.
I don't know if they realized that two people were in a pit position, maybe trying to use the numbers in a 2 versus 1, but there were trades in favor of Vitality, and they get their first round on the board. Now, it was an expensive one for Vitality, obviously going 0-3 and winning with not too many players alive is going to cost you a little bit. NBK's now on a UMP, but there are shortcomings for FURIA as well because of how bad their anti-force buy and anti-eco rounds were.
I love how Zywoo's kill is not even a no-scope, it's just a... sorry, it's not even a quick-scope, it's just a no-scope.
When do you see a HE down mid doing this much damage in a professional match?
That's pretty good. Well, most teams, they, yeah, as you say, like in defaults, you don't send that many people unless you're going to be rushing it, so it can really punish that rush. But yeah, this is a weird one. You don't often see this, and FURIA is so good at finding gaps in the defense. They're going to look to play contact here through towards the Arch position. They've got very limited weaponry. They'll see what they can do here. Can they trade this out? No, they can't. Zywoo with another HE. Will that do more damage? It's a lick of damage there onto Abel. And the bomb will make its way around to the short position. And they, again, FURIA, they've lost a player. They don't have to commit to this. They've managed to get Abel J towards CT spawn. Oh my god. Apex will spot him out though. Perfect position to be hidden from Abel as he was pushing CT. And now you can see K-Serato opening things up. Where's the trade? RPK is going to live to fight another day, it seems, as K-Serato is the last man standing. This has not worked out for FURIA. These passive setups are proving effective for Vitality.
You can see the situation for the money. There is not really any money for FURIA. The round bonus is in the bin as well. So this is a chance for Vitality to build. If they can survive with 4 players, that is a big flick. And it is, of course, K-Serato in a 1 versus 4. And that's never good news if you are the opponent. Spots NBK falling back to try and make the crossfire by double stack, running out of bullets though. He's got a rotation towards top mid. Also fair in graveyard, but he can't quite find the angle. And that will be round 2 for Vitality with 3 players surviving.
I'm actually surprised NBK did not die from that first engagement. It looked pretty on. But as you say, Vitality pick up their second round. Again, that passive approach has been looking really effective for them. They are allowing FURIA to take the map control, and FURIA are playing really fast at this point. They're not really playing default Counter-Strike. We're not seeing them take banana, take top mids, and then sort of make a decision later on. It's just, we're going to try to creep up towards Arch, see if we can get into the A side. And that's kind of happened twice now. So I wouldn't be too surprised to start seeing defaults from FURIA when we get the buy rounds, the next buy round from them. See, this is a full block save, just one flashbang from K-Serato. Nice shot from Alex. He's going to gun down the remainder of FURIA as they charge the banana position. Not too much for them to do here as Alex shuts it down.
Yeah, getting up the leaderboards. Creek for Zywoo, AK for Apex. They're in a good spot now, Vitality. It's a great round for them. Gives them about 3,700 per person average at this moment in time. So slowly starting to build. You can see FURIA having to buy within an inch of their economy. So bonus round still to be had early on this half of Inferno. 3-3. SU takes the lead. Molotov down the mid position. He's going to bounce off the back wall, which might compromise where Art is. So it won't set him on fire, in fact. Molly's down banana as well. Lots of spray, but Apex stops. Vinny pops out, and that's an early frag. Zywoo gets taken out as well. That's a fantastic start for FURIA. Now, they won't charge into the B bomb site. It's not a guarantee that there's no one else there. And indeed, Alex has taken position and lining up for it. Caught up a grenade in his hand, Vinny, but he will trade the frag once again. 4 versus 2. We've got RPK making his way in out of construction, but NBK is still on the A bomb site now. If he can get to the well, he can throw a flash for his teammate to have a peek. If he had one, he doesn't have one, so he can't flash. It's going to be the dry peak from RPK. So far, so good. Vinny taken out. And they're not quite on the bomb side just yet. Are taking some damage, and RPK will follow up. The bomb from the floor now. And there goes Yuri as well. The turnaround is ridiculous. Able J maybe looking for a late flank, and now he's going to try and clutch the round.
Yeah, Furia just, everybody's caught out of position here. It's only Vinny really that was able to have some kind of a spot to play, and straight up duel taken by RPK will be enough to deal with him, and everybody else is just caught running to the site in dribs and drabs, and this was looking so good. Vinny did so much with the Galil as well, no less, for the first 2 kills at least. And he was found the bomb, but he needs to deal with these players. There's no way to get a farm without dealing with them. Oh, he almost walked into that one. RPK down to 8 HP, but he's got the quad kill. Great recovery thanks to RPK, and I thought that was done.
Last bullet wins. That was a very important round for Vitality, but it puts FURIA in an interesting position. Only one player survived for Vitality, but actually they do have plenty of money, so perhaps we won't see much in this round from FURIA. From FURIA's perspective, it's important that if Vitality are to win a round, they do it with few players remaining. There is a tactical timeout from Vitality at the moment, but again, they're good for a full buy in this particular round. NBK's got $9,000. Vitality on about 3,000 average, have bought a smoke and a molly so far. Vinny's picked himself up some Kevlar. So I wonder how much they'll invest into this. I don't think their loss bonus is too spectacular just yet, but it seems they do have some kind of plan in mind. So he's got full armor. Okay, pistol's coming out now. All right, so this is quite the buy from FURIA.
I'm always curious when I see Tech-9s as well, because I feel like they're just not good. But we do see them every so often, and if Vinny's carrying one.
They are about to hit maximum loss bonus, actually, so plenty of money for them to spend. And I think they are the kind of team who can have a solid execute behind these grenades in essentially an eco round.
Yeah, it actually can be very dangerous, as you say, you know, with great pop flashes, good smokes, you can often get that opening that you need with a pistol to take down a player, pick up a gun, and make things really difficult for the CT side. So we'll see what they can accomplish with this balcony burst. But the setup is looking really good for Vitality here. They've got 4 players to defend. They're going to be looking for this. Oh, it's just straight in the face with the Tech-9. MBK falls, and RPK's the man to look after the pit position. He's got a lot to look after here as he's playing between the smokes, and Apex will find a flank there onto Arts. And it's not looking like there's too much left here now for FURIA. It's a decent attempt by Keserato, but he'll be shut down as well, as it's just Yuri. He's picked up an AUG. He's in the pit's position, so damage can be done, but how much? That's a great angle to find onto RPK. What else has he got? Well, okay, absolutely nothing. Fantastic stuff from Zaiwu. Finishes it off.
Pretty damn confident is Zaiwu. I didn't see who deployed the smoke on shore, which I kind of think it was a CT smoke, which made it hard for the push to come in properly from the T side. The flank from Apex was quite good as well. And Vitality are looking like a lot stronger challenge on Inferno early than we saw from North on Inferno. So it seems that FURIA will be tested a lot more in this particular matchup. Vitality rising with strength now. Apex has got 6,700 in the bank, and he's already got a full buy. Tactical timeout from FURIA at the moment. They are pulling out the AK-47s more than the Kriegs at present. 3/2. Plenty of grenades as well. So we'll see what they have in mind. 4 AUGs and the AWP for Vitality. AUG's so good at cutting down multiple players when you're holding an angle.
Yeah, that spray, it just seems so consistent, doesn't it, to handle the recoil and everything, just pull down, and it's just super easy to transfer. So here we go, RPK. That nade, we saw that do lots of damage previously, but the plan here for FURIA is more of a default, and this is really interesting because Vitality representing maybe just 2 players here. Very passive approach. You don't expect there to be 3 players, and how much can Art do? He's got a forward position. The Molotov comes in, great damage done. The flashes, though, are blind absolutely everybody, but Alex will get the better of that one as it's left in a 4 versus 3 in favor of Vitality, who can now start to fall back into a more passive setup. So they've definitely managed to accomplish what they set out to accomplish. And they've got 3 on A as well, and they've got Zaiwu looking after that B bomb site by himself from coffins, so he doesn't have much information towards B, but Vitality have absolutely nailed this so far. AbleJ's looking for a pick, but it's going to be so difficult for FURIA to bully their way in, and that's one of the reasons there's too many players here.
Beautiful bait. RPK knows the extremities he can go to. The white peak, he knows what could be, and he will deliver a fantastic kill. Solid round from Vitality. 4 players survive. A 4K from Alex on this occasion. 12 for 5 is Alex, enjoying the home soil at present. No bomb plant for FURIA. Since the buy versus buy, FURIA have not planted a bomb a single time. They've had very limited success, it seems, at least in that respect. Money starting to rise now for Vitality. RPK 6K, Apex 7.5. And FURIA will have the almost iconic Mac 10 on Art, a bunch of pistols on the remainder. Some CZs here, some Deagles there. Another focus towards the banana position. Not as strong a challenge from Vitality on this occasion. You can see Art there has established control of the top of banana. Now, do they go for a fast execute? There's 4 of the 5 players here for FURIA. They've got 1 flash and the grenades which have already been deployed. That lurk smoke at the front as well, which they can try to burst behind. There's a HE being held by Apex, but he's been seen. Does that mean there's 1 player on the site?
Perfect flash there as well. Alex will spot one towards New Box, but he's been spotted as well, so they know that they have to deal with him. There's no element of surprise left for Alex in his position as he falls back towards construction, trying to take a deeper angle in the peaks, though. There's the trade. I was worried about that. Oh, Zaiwu blocking it down there as Abel goes for the trade, and the bomb is now on the ground, and it doesn't seem like there's a way to recover anything here, and indeed that's the case. 7-3 as Vitality will stop that round in its tracks, and FURIA, they're looking like they are struggling here at the moment. As you say, James, we're not getting any bomb plants, and they're struggling to get themselves in positions where they can even win duels favorably.
Considering they had that lurk smoke at the front of the B bomb site and they managed to get all the way to New Box, the fact that Vitality only dropped 1 player in that entire scenario is quite impressive. That's really good. I think some people may panic in that kind of situation, but 7 rounds in a row for Vitality. We have a tactical timeout which has come and gone. Now, how do they, or can they, turn things around? Trying to challenge from Banana has not been successful for FURIA. The executes on half buys towards A have had counter smokes, I think, and they've been shut down as well by Vitality. Even the lurk smoke on that half buy hasn't had as much mileage as you may have expected, as we've seen versus other teams. So again, I think Vitality are very well prepared, definitely showing that at the moment. So what will change for FURIA? We see a smoke towards the barrels on Banana. So again, the challenge will continue. 3 players for Vitality, but they're not going to do the same thing every round. You can see they've fallen back early on this occasion, and they will avoid the triple grenades from FURIA.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's Vitality just understanding they're playing passively against the FURIA. It's not a bad approach, as they're very aggressive. Oh, Apex, he's absolutely nailed it with this smoke, able to take full advantage, but there will be a trade actually, leaving Alex alone, although rotation is coming in form of Zaiwu, so he'll be quick to assist, but the smokes down will make life complicated as Alex goes for the rotation, repositioning towards pools, trying to deny these players as they push the smoke, but they won't. In fact, they've discovered an empty A bomb site. They're going to take full advantage here. They've outmaneuvered their opponent, although the bomb still needs to make its way across to that A bomb site. There is time for Vitality to get into a retake position if they want to.
Smoke up on Archie is an issue, however. There are no more smokes for FURIA unless they find one on the way. Now, the bomb is going through apartments, and Zaiwu is there to take out Kesarato, and that's the bomb in a really weird position. But once that smoke goes, Vitality may be compromising where they can stand. They will put up a smoke to make that life easier. There's one taken out by Yuri, sees one in Graveyard as well. Now he can be the bait. Alex looking for another place to try and help. Zaiwu going wide, taking Yuri out, and there's Able J on the Graveyard stairs. His teammate will deal with that one, leaving Zaiwu to switch weapon and get taken out. So FURIA created anarchy, multiple smokes at the front of the B bomb site. They're making plays there, almost fully committing to the B bomb site. At the same time, trying to cut off rotation from the balcony position with Vitality moving from A towards B. I think it was NBK who got taken out by Yuri, which activated the rotation. There he is, trying to get back into the pit just in case, as they're really not sure what was going on. So Vitality stretched, trying to defend 2 bomb sites at the same time, and FURIA just about make it work.
Yeah, that was really well played by FURIA, for sure. What a good round. That's going to give them a lot of confidence moving forwards. And FURIA, you never know, when they're going to be breaking out of defaults. And, here we're going to see what looks like is going to be a fairly quick B bomb side attack. We'll have to see how Vitality respond to this and how many frags they can get before FURIA take over the bomb site. That's always the key. And here they go, just straight in. There's no default. There's just rush into the B bomb site. It has not gone well, though, here so far for them. They've lost 2 players, and they've got not much to say for it until now. Apex goes down, but there's still more to do.
That Molotov will buy time for the rotation. The sprays through smoke's been fruitful, but those frags came before the smoke even popped on CT. Oh dear, FURIA trying to play, I wonder if this is just a little out of their comfort zone, how fast they're playing these rounds. It's not been so successful for them. The fake plant just in case, and now things will surely go from bad to worse as the smoke starts to disappear. Art has one more, he'll go for the CT smoke. I'm not sure if he was spotted, although they hear the reload position. Yuri's in a very brittle position himself, and Zywoo, of all people, is creeping up. Look at the sheer utility on Vitality. 2 of 3 people left. Yuri's creeping. Can he catch NBK? Just about. Big headshot. That is very, very crucial. There's Zywoo taken out. He's got low ground advantage, but RPK is deep enough to stop him. You can hide behind that wall in some positions, but RPK is way too close. Delivers the trade frag. They've got the money to survive as well. 8-4 for Vitality.
What an effort there from Yuri. That was looking really, really good for a moment. They do harm the economy pretty enormously at Vitality, but we are in the dying rounds of the first half here, so it may not really impact things at all. They need round wins here, FURIA, to sort of establish some stability. If they're going to be losing that pistol round in the second half, they need at least 5-6 rounds on this first half to make sure that they really have a chance to make some mistakes, but still be in the running for this map. It's been difficult for them so far. Vitality really hitting all their shots, which is great to see. Caserante looking aggressively for a pick here. Flashbangs out. The spray does massive damage. Vinny follows up. Alex now looking to get out of dodge. Zywoo replaces the position with the AWP, no less. That is not a good sign if you're FURIA to hear that AWP rattling off on that B-bomb site.
War of attrition on Banana continues. 2 of the 4 players for Vitality over there. RPK was just having a look top mid, make sure no one's there for the time being, but he starts to move back to work with NBK. The balcony position is guesswork as well for the CTs, which compromises where RPK can stand, but as we saw in the previous round, he's very aware of that, and he is ready for the wide peaks. So you can see Vinny spotted. Drops the Molotov, as FURIA have had a lot of fast plays of late. He's got a flashback from his teammate. They're lining up for him. He knows where 2 of the players are, but it hasn't quite finished him off. That HE could do a lot, though. Doesn't land in time. Alex spraying. They are both in the red. They've got to know they're really tapped. 40 seconds left. There's plenty of time. This can still turn around quickly if they can find the right angles. Alex, I think he was stuck in the door. Vinny just escaping. That's so unlucky for Alex.
Yeah, generally, I think a fairly unlucky round for Vitality. Not being able to get those 2 kills towards Arch side, I think that was really the key there. FURIA surviving with those 2 players, just because even though they didn't themselves take any additional action after that point, really, except just pressuring, it was the case that Vitality had to look in 2 places at once, and that caused the A-bomb side defense, the anchors, to just collapse. And really, really needed rounds coming out here for FURIA. I wonder how many they'll be able to get in this first half, as the money here is looking pretty ropey for Vitality. However, they do save 2 guns, so they should be fine for a buy in this next round. 5 rounds now for FURIA, but that's only 2 rounds on their T side outside of those first 3 off the back of the pistol. So Vitality right now looking in great form.
Tactical timeout by Vitality. Money's not as amazing as it was, and FURIA can still get a reasonable score out of this half. So let's see what they choose to do. They have the AWP on Zywoo and an AUG on Alex. Alex 15 for 8 at the moment, as is Zywoo actually. Both racing for the top of the leaderboard. Vinny has 10. That's the most on FURIA at the moment. So let's see if Vitality can make it to double figures. It would be, well, they've got some difficulties here. They've got 2 MP9s coming out and the SMG on NBK, but they've got plenty of grenades, so they could go for something aggressive. They have the utility to hold on to Banana early. But they will start with 3 towards A. Often you'll have that third player towards B to drop in the initial smoke, maybe, some support grenades, and then fall back towards the A-bomb site. Not the case in this particular round. Yuri with some spam towards the apartments in case anyone's there in an aggressive angle. And who knows, maybe Zywoo would have been there with the AWP, but he's towards Arch at present.
Yeah, one of the great things that spam does as well is that it creates a lot of pressure in the apartments, and often teams will do that when they're trying to push players into apartments, which is kind of how a default often looks. 3 towards banana, 2 towards the apartments. You take banana, you rotate 2 players from banana, 4 take top mid. That's like the normal flow of things. But here again, FURIA going for that B push, and Alex is going to spot it, but he's the only one here. He cannot deny them entry to the bomb site. They're going to get a bomb plant for free, it feels like. Alex might get flashed through this smoke and see if he can do some damage, but he has been completely denied.
Beautiful stuff from FURIA. I feel like these are really in response to the difficulties they were having in that long string of rounds you see at the top there from Vitality. Again, their plan A wasn't working, so this is not what we normally see in terms of the timing. Just walking in, overwhelming, abusing the numbers. Extremely simple Counter-Strike in that regard, but extremely successful as well. You win the duels, you win the trades, the site is taken, the CTs are out of position. It's more or less suicide, especially at this point with your weaker weapons to try and get back into this round. And it will be number 6 for FURIA.
Yes, strategically, it's a really good way to play the game, like the way the FURIA are doing it. Just not focusing too much on defaults. If your opponents are playing really, really passive, typically means they're giving up a lot of the map, which means that if you play the style of FURIA playing here, where they just send a lot of players together and try to take a bomb site quite quickly, the CTs will never have enough information to understand that they need to rotate somebody in time. So you can just have spots like this where FURIA just take a bomb site and there's literally no response that's possible or possibly impactful to prevent them winning the round at that point. So I would like to see Vitality getting a bit more aggressive, especially on Banana, especially because they have these SMGs now.
Again, full grenades for Vitality in the last round of the first half. Only Zywoo has a defuse kit, so if he is to fall, we'll keep an eye on that in case it plays a part in the result of this round. An aggression taken towards the second mid position with a Molotov down mid, and nothing doing. They are served nothing by FURIA, who moved to take the top of Banana. Zywoo rotating the AWP in that direction. Apex and Alex on first and second oranges, respectively, or actually the other way around. Now we've got Zywoo by the coffins. Apex holding a pop flash off the barrel, so if Zywoo takes a shot, I presume a pop flash will go out immediately. And that shot might not be too far away.
We're so ready for this. Oh, he actually whiffs that one. I can't believe it. Apex trying to get out there, but the flash work is pretty damn good from FURIA. I think that was the team flash there as well. Apex is blind. Finny, what is this? Tech9 comes out, deals with Alex, sends him packing, and now it's Vitality down 3 against 5. They've lost the B bomb site. They do have some retake utility, but this will be very difficult to get back in.
Yeah, they have to go for it. It is the last round. So has some angles, which does compromise where some of FURIA can stand. You see the gun poking out, a quick look and a punish, but it's a 1 versus 4. A flying Vinny with a lot of work in that round. 4 kills for him, 15 for 11. At halftime, it is 8-7 in favor of Vitality. After the break, the teams will switch sides.
Introducing the ECS Premium Pass. The unique viewing experience allows you to get further into the action. It enables you to focus on any player within the game and even the ECS official observer. Subscribers will have access to interactive HUD, detailed statistics on all players and an improved minimap, and much more. All Faceit TV Twitch subscribers will receive full access to 11 additional streams for the ultimate CS viewing experience. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now for only $4.99 and watch CS the way you want to.
Today we crown a new champion for ECS. Will it be Vitality or will it be FURIA? Will it be France? Will it be Brazil? We wait to find out. It's still the first map of this best-of-3 series. The score is close and Vitality moved to the aggressor side of the T side. FURIA's turn to defend. We saw an insane pistol round, or at least an insane end to the pistol round in the first half. Will we see the same in the second, Dan?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea, but let's think about how impactful that pistol was, because FURIA struggled. They struggled on that T side. Imagine if they didn't get that pistol. It took them a long time to figure out how to approach their opponents, but this is a different half entirely. We can expect shenanigans, I am sure. Can't wait to see what Art is up to, and he's going to, well, he's rushing second mid in front of his own smoke. So talking about shenanigans, what a ridiculous peak he's trying to make here. This is actually quite awesome. Obviously he has to worry about some of the timings out of the apartments as well, but Apex is going to find one. Able J, there's Art trying to play that smoke there. That's actually so cool. I don't think I've seen anyone try that on a pistol.
No, but Vitality are reacting. Big headshot in Boiler, and they're rushing towards the A-bomb site. Now it's them with the better positions after FURIA tries to get them on the back foot, but they've swept them. Looks like FURIA are on their back at the moment. Vinny and Keserato, 2 versus 5. There was 1 versus 4 last time. This time it's 1 versus 5. Maybe that's one too many. I don't know if they realize where he is just yet. Alex may walk into a headshot. No, he's not going to go too far. Or is he? Seems like he might, but he misses a shot this time. Keserato gets deleted, and Vitality win the pistol.
Beautiful stuff. Absolutely denying those shenanigans of FURIA. I gotta say, I'm gonna probably steal what Art just did there, because that looked really fun. And well, Vitality will be the ones having all the fun, though, it seems. All the headshots going their way, as they perform really well on the pistol. And that's that's what we want to see, I think. We want to see each team winning that T-side pistol. All fair and square. 2 Mag 10s here for Vitality. A small investigation towards Banana, nothing too crazy, just splitting up. 2 towards second mid as well. Nice nade there. Good damage onto Art and Vinny. Oh, the follow-up is even better.
Vinny has a smoke grenade, though, which he can deploy on top of Banana. Once more presence is shown. Able J moving into the apartment with a smoke of his own. So try to kill some time. Molly towards Boiler. Wonder if Vitality will actually venture in there. I'd be surprised against a force buy. And Yuri would maybe be surprised as well. Not expecting it, but NBK is just waiting. He can smell the desperation and it will be punished. In response, we see the smoke drops. K-Craft is spotted by Apex. Trying to punish the tracers. Every 3rd bullet will deliver a tracer. And Vitality start to move towards the A-bomb site. Currently, it's only Able J, although Vinny is making... Actually, they're all going, but I don't know if many of them will make it there in time.
Going to do their best. Able J in this position. It's got to be very careful. Okay, Serate does get a frag there, and now Able J reveals his position. They just don't have the firepower, though. If they had rifles, maybe there'd be an opportunity here, but... You can see that he's Able J, there's not much, and they're taking their time. They wait for the coordination for the triple peek. It's successful, and 4 players survive for Vitality. They're looking pretty strong at the moment, and it's a full save coming up now for FURIA.
Yeah, Vitality are in a very strong spot at this point. Of course, we have the eco for FURIA, so we're looking at an 11-7 scoreline, and then if FURIA lose their first buy round, that's going to be a lot of pressure pretty much immediately on their defensive side. Not much is spent. About $500. A HE for Yuri, a flashbang for Art, and Keserato picks up a late smoke, so I do wonder what they have in mind. Keserato's alone towards the bomb site, so he's going to try and funnel them towards A, where there's a rush from FURIA. How many players will be spotted? Okay, they've got 2 shots. Can he pick up any rifles in response? Vitality charging towards the bomb site. Keserato, he's only got a USP, so I expect Vitality will just go straight through it. They've got a numbers game to take that risk and take the site. Definitely one worth taking, and they've done that. Moving towards sandbags, Keserato. There's not so much he can really do. He will ring the bell of Apex, and with 2 AKs, I'm sure FURIA will go for this. Art's taken out, but maybe now there's a decision to make. They don't have any Kevlar. Did he want to gamble and lose these AK-47s? That is quite the spray, but surely now Able J will hold on to his one.
Decent effort, decent damage done. 2 kills, not bad. Not quite as good as Vitality when they were in the same position in the first half, but it will do. And as you say, like keeping that AK is definitely a pretty huge priority. It's a big bonus. And FURIA will need every single bit of utility for the next rounds. Just looking at Art actually doesn't have a huge amount of money. He's going to be able to afford more, but he'll have to go glass cannon. And given the fact that Art likes to play pretty aggressive, that Kevlar is really useful for taking those nades, because I would imagine if he does want to play that aggressive style, he's going to be meeting some HE grenades at some point. So hopefully he will be safe from those. But
he found himself in Kevlar.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, he could afford it. All right.
This is the part of the game of Inferno that I was looking forward to. I want to see how Vitality will approach the Banana and what they took away from the FURIA North game and the shortcomings on the North T side, where maybe some advantages could have been had. Art going for a flick top mid, so he's changing his position, and I did also wonder if FURIA would be proactive in that respect. He was, I mean, it was kind of like, give me a reason not to be on Banana every single round, I think, against North, but I think that FURIA are the kind of proactive team who wouldn't necessarily do that, just copy-paste all the time. Art forced away by the flashbang. There's a smoke in the apartments, though. Able J will try to hold down the short position. He's blind, moving into the apartments himself. Art tracking, but not getting the frag in the pit. There are problems on the A side for FURIA.
Serato trying to get out of dodge there. It's able J to go down behind the smoke. Oh no, the double Kobe. That is a problem. A huge problem for FURIA. They have some great opportunities in this round, but everything's just going sideways very quickly for them. And Vinny just has to save this org at this point. That's so unfortunate. Art had a couple opportunities there with this AWP, and it just didn't really materialize for them. Very unfortunate. And NK Serato as well, he gets the dink on RPK. RPK down at 2 HP, but can't find a way to finish him off, and it all goes very badly after that. And you mentioned, James, that if Vitality win this first buy round, the pressure's on immediately. And yeah, FURIA are in a really bad spot.
Yeah, this is a giant problem, because now we're looking at 13-7 when for FURIA to start to begin their CT side. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. I wonder what Vinny will try to do with his org. Able J's got 65.50. He had about $3,000 at the left over at the beginning of the last round, so maybe they pick up a second rifle. There is some money to be spent, and I believe they're taking tactical time out, FURIA, I'm guessing. Ooh. So I think they realize how bad a situation they will potentially be in. Now, an AWP has been dropped to Art, who will buy around it, but they're not going to... Doesn't look like they're committing all the money just yet. Or are they?
Looks like they,
no, they are. It's a force buy.
Doesn't look too bad though, actually. They're pretty good at, shuffling the money around and so on. Like, for example, in the previous round, I don't think Art bought his own orb because he couldn't have bought Kevlar if he did, so...
I think psychologically at this point, FURIA have to be thinking, if we lose this round, we lose the map.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable way to look at it. There are definitely points in Counter-Strike where you just have to say, okay, well look, things aren't going well. We just have to take huge risks at this point. You can't be afraid to take risks. That's the name of the game. And speaking of risks, it's not going to pay off for Art there. He is not finding his way into this map. Art is someone that can have a lot of impact. He moves around a lot with the AWP, but he is simply not having any luck.
Man like Zyru. Yuri's picked up the AWP and taken it away. And now what? That's a big weapon taken out immediately. FURIA not playing their normal game with Art on Banana. Going for the high-risk plays, top mid, and they're just not working out. Previously there was an opportunity, but he missed a flick on the player swinging wide, which said to me maybe Vitality were expecting him to be towards Banana as he was in that previous match, but here we are. So far, so very good for Vitality. Serato taking a fair chunk of damage, and they are forced to use their utility. There's a minute on the clock for Vitality, so this is what they want. They want FURIA to dump their utility and have less to defend with, less counter flashes. You can see they've just deployed another smoke grenade top mid. They've got 3 flashbangs left. They will have to be very, very good.
FURIA gambling towards B, it seems. Yuri's already rotating towards that B-bomb side. Will he go back now, or are they just gamble stacking? A gamble stack is not the worst thing in the world to go for here, and oh my god, it might just pay off because it looks like Vitality are going for a fake here towards that A-bomb site, and FURIA have absolutely nailed this. They're going to be committed here. 20 seconds to go. Nothing really can go wrong here because time to correct it just doesn't exist, and in they go into that B-bomb site. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Okay, they've dealt with Vinny at the back of the bomb site, so the bomb can go down.
All right, will he go for the elevated shot? No, it's a more protected plant, of course, and FURIA surely have to back out of this, otherwise they risk losing everything. If they can hold on to these weapons, they can bite around them. That smoke is up, they've got to get out of there, especially with that AWP, and they will manage to do that. Able J, with the FAMAS at the bottom of Banana, will certainly help FURIA hold on to these important weapons. So they've kept themselves in the game in that respect. If they can hold on to these, there's a fair chance Able J gets taken out. There's NBK with his knife. Don't get greedy for that rifle. It's got to move away and hold on to that weapon as well. The bomb's pretty ticked, so they may all survive at this point. So this is the best case scenario in losing the round. You can hold on to enough to buy a round, so they've kind of squeezed themselves into an extra buy situation rather than being wiped out. So they're still in the game.
And they have that max loss bonus as well, working in their favor as far as the buys are concerned. But yeah, that's beautiful from ZywOo. And Art does love to peek top mids. You know, he loves to peek a lot of things, but top mid on Inferno is something that he goes for quite a lot. And again, if you're studying the demos of FURIA, that's something you're going to see a lot. So you can see that Vitality have been expectant. I don't think they've ever really been caught off guard by FURIA shenanigans. So Art back on the AWP. We're yet to see him have impact with it in this game of Inferno just yet. Now would be a good time, James.
Yeah, still determined to play the top mid position, not going to Banana just yet. Case Raptor's taken out. Vinny, he can't get taken out here. He's got to try and create some space for himself. The smoke is up. RPK tempted to move forward, but he won't just yet. Plenty of players will be heard. They know he's got a weak weapon as well. Can he fight two? No, running out of bullets, but Art is here posting up now in his usual spot, but ZywOo's gone past and he could get taken by surprise. Art, has he got the flick in? He does. That is such an important frag for the squad. Alex taken out elsewhere towards the balcony position, and Vitality start to move towards top mid. There's MBK eliminated, which leaves Apex in a 1 versus 3, moving through the smoke, but he will be denied. FURIA survive with 3. They get an upgrade. Both the AKs collected, the FAMAS is dropped. 5 rounds to go.
Can Vitality just lock it in? Or FURIA, will this be the moment? The moment that begins everything, that starts it all. The comeback for the Brazilians, is it on the cards? You know, we've seen that Art's sort of been a bit late into this. You could see that obviously in the analyst desk as well. There was the focus on Art's. I think it was Spongy who highlighted him and just sort of his craziness. Oh, actually, no, he highlighted Case Around. It was Maniac that highlighted Arts, but yeah.
Just found out that Neymar is tuned in watching FURIA. I'm sure he'll be rooting for the Brazilians. What a great team they are to watch as well. Vitality lose a man early. RPK taken out, and Banana is in control of FURIA. Art back to his comfortable place on Banana. We'll see now if Vitality will challenge for that later on. AWP on Banana and 4 players towards A. This has worked out quite successfully for FURIA, although sometimes in a 4v4 on the A bomb site they have lost them rounds. We saw versus North, so by no means is this guaranteed should the play go in this direction. Apex will be collecting the bomb by the Vespa. No Funk vehicle, so he'll have to run back. That's what he wants to do. Art looking to post up. He's expecting a flashbang. You can see he's waiting for a flash to come in. The periodic peaks as well. There is the flash for Banana. Up it goes. There's the chain one. He eats the second one, but he's still alive. Can he get back in time? They know he's playing alone. This is what I was talking about. How Vitality will be reactive towards the bomb site. Art, though he's ready. He's in battle mode. Molotov towards New Box. He is forced out by the fountain as well. And that's can he get another kill out of this? He's buying time for his team. Alex standing in the flames, and Art will eventually be eliminated.
It's a good effort, though. He did the right thing. You have to go for the frags there. You know they're going to be rushing down. You know your teammates won't be in position in time. You know they're going to overwhelm you. You have to find ways to take the engagements, and that's what he did. He only gets one out of it, but that might be enough. We'll have to see. ZywOo locks down the Banana position. There's no more threat coming from there. It's all about construction here for these CT players. And it's another one for ZywOo as he knocks down these Brazilians. Vinny, though, fighting back tooth and nail. Alex and Apex at the back of the bomb site, waiting patiently for this push. And now it's down to the man, Case Serato. He's got one, but where's the second? He hears the drop. Can he find it? Yes, he can! Through the smoke, Case Serato does it again.
What on earth happened there? I thought that was a guaranteed round for Vitality. That is absolutely crazy.
It's never guaranteed when Case Serato is alive, James.
But again, we see the That was a great play from Vitality in the first place. They know that Art's going to be left on Banana on his own. They flashed him off, but the chain flash, the second flash was so important. He was ready for the first one. He ate the second one. He was forced away when he wanted to go for the repeat. And again, it's a sheer numbers game after that. But surely that had to be around for Vitality. I feel like they just kind of gave that one away towards the end. But here we are, still in it, FURIA, and things are getting dangerous now. Sure, temperatures are rising in that Vitality booth.
Absolutely. It's, I mean, this Brazilian team has so much resilience, and they're always able, seemingly, to they just play their game no matter the situation, no matter the amount of pressure. And that's a beautiful start. The boost in Boiler is somewhat of a popular move at the moment, and it works out really nicely here. MBK goes down. Zaiwu, though, able to track Able J as he tries to get in position. No! Oh, he craters. That is awful. Oh, my God. But Alex, with the backstab onto Yuri, will make things slightly better for Vitality as they even up the numbers game. At the very least, in case Serato caught just walking in the middle through Moto into the A site, and that is not a good look there for FURIA. They're down 2 against 3 now.
Very long rotation for Vinny, and look at the money for FURIA. Look at the loss bonus. This is a really difficult situation for them. Peeking towards the balcony, peeking towards the pit. You can see Apex ready to stand on the bike. The scope should be heard by RPK, so they should have an idea of where these players are. Boosted up, and that is it. Apex deletes everybody, and Vitality are in the strongest position yet. They're falling over money. They're 2 rounds away from the first map, and FURIA's money has been absolutely ruined.
Great cashes. I hope it is the crater. Oh, no. Hate to see it. Oh, man. Well, his teammates certainly made good of it, though, so it's fine. Great stuff from Apex. I was talking about him earlier. Right now, Vitality, the cool thing is that, you know, it's not just the case that, you know, every so often, you know, Zaiwu just carries them to success or something. You know, you see these situations where, you know, Alex having a great game. Like Alex and RPK, it was all about them to begin with on that CT side. They were really, you know, making huge plays. And Zaiwu was kind of the backup. And if anything that, you know, they didn't catch, he would guarantee that it would be dealt with as a backup. And so Vitality individually, they're looking incredible. Really, really strong at the moment. FURIA, 9-14. That's not a good spot to find yourselves in here. They are fighting to prevent game point for Vitality, and they just have pots and pans, James.
Yeah, but they've got 4 men towards that banana position. Art's charging his way down, but he won't win that first duel. Again, a rough start for FURIA in this round, 4 versus 5. More grenades down towards the bottom of banana. There will be a smoke as well. That HE won't do much. Apex on 11 HP, but so many advantages for Vitality. Surely they've come too far to capitulate on Inferno at this point. Vinny playing an off angle with a FAMAS on B. No grenades, half health. 3 players towards A. Complete guesswork and gambling for FURIA. They've just got to hope that Vitality make a mistake. But they're so well equipped. They've got Molotov, smokes, flashes, rifles for days. How on earth can FURIA survive this situation?
This is going to be rough for Vinny. It's going to be really tough here. And goes the first one. The FAMAS does the damage, but the AK of MBK will find him through the coffins. Here he creeps into position through construction, but really, what can you expect to get out of this situation? Perhaps a kill on the gun? He finds the FAMAS. No, it doesn't seem like it's available to him there. He'll back away. I wonder if he'll play for some exits here. Indeed will be the case. So Vitality looking to pick up game point, but there's still a lot of fights in FURIA. Definitely can't call it just yet, but Vitality do look to be significant, or significantly strong on this map. They look so convincing. Even the smoke on a ramp there, really making sure that nothing goes wrong here. There it is, game point collected for Vitality. 1 more to secure map 1. They are looking so focused, in such good shape. They are playing really well here, well-oiled machine.
All right, what can FURIA offer? They've got a lot of rounds to come back with, or rounds to fight for. They've got a fair amount of rifles in this situation. Again, Art just hasn't been able to get going in this particular round. Flashed off early, they know he's hungry for it. He's going for Raiwu, has been such a problem by the bench already, and there's a free one. It's been a familiar story, top mid. And FURIA have always been on a receiving end.
Yeah, their approach is consistently been just throwing Art out there, and he's not been delivering at all. And partially, I think that's because Vitality are expectant of these plays, and they're just playing a slower pace and just catching FURIA and catching them off guard each time. That's definitely not a good start when you're already under-equipped. Now you're fighting against a man, well, you're fighting with a man down. 4 versus 5. Here come the pop flashes, taking over top middle. Vitality have all the map control they could possibly ask for at this point. They are still keeping eyes on Banana as well. So FURIA completely denied of information. They either have to gamble stack, or they have to make an information play and figure out what's going on. They've got to do that soon if they're planning to do it at all, because right now they have players in the wrong positions.
Alex may have some sound cues. He's top mid at the moment. Case Raptor's on the way. So it's going to be 2 per site. Whatever they do is going to be weak. That smoke, will it come in time? He's got to get in front of it. And he will do so. Facing the wall, he's expecting the flashbangs. Vinny's been taken out. There's one jump. Oh, Apex goes as well. He was red, now he's dead. Down to the 5-7, playing close. Oh, he sees the AK-47, but Zaiwu finds the right angle. 2v2. Still a slow rotation. Alex is by the well, looking in the right direction and takes out Able J. He wasn't expecting that. Speedway is for Yuri, but Alex finishes him off as well. And there's the first map for Vitality.
Alex is looking so incredibly good at the moment. I think I saw a post recently just showing how his statistics have been shooting up in the last few events of Vitality. They've really come into form together as a unit. They are looking dangerous here.
They are indeed, and maybe that's a shock to the system for FURIA. Thoughts at the desk after the break.